man's heart is full of hate. He butthurts, cries, and a dark shadow falls over this troll. From the ashes of a once great fandom has risen a meme, an LOL that must be liked. We look to the airways for a vindicator, someone to strike fear in the dark basement of the parents who created him. The battle between fan and smart has begun. With a head on his shoulders stands the smart fan, a speaker of truths, with a voice of silence, and a radio show of justice. This is Ring Rust.
You know what I do around here if you're a long-time listener or a medium-time listener, I guess. Ring of Honor is usually on a Friday night, and NXT is usually on a Saturday night. So what I do, in the event that I have to preview one or the other of those, I do it the week before, because chances are nothing's really going to change. Both shows actually are pre-taped in advance, I'm pretty sure. The regular weekly shows are pre-taped in advance, so it's not like they're going to add something by surprise. They could, I suppose. You never know. But, you know, some 95% of my preview is probably going to be accurate. So they have 5 matches here on the Wikipedia page for TakeOver San Antonio anyway. They have 5 matches announced. I imagine there's a possibility they'll add 1 or 2 more. It's a 2-hour show. They stick usually to the 2 hours because it's a solid 2-hour block. They'll probably stick with 5. They may add 1 more, or they may add an interview segment or something. I don't know. They're pretty good at sticking to what's advertised, usually. WWE, they like throwing in an extra match or 2, or they realize we got some extra time because, you know, we trimmed this match down from 8 minutes to 5 minutes, and now we have this extra 3 minutes to give to somebody else. And we took an extra 2 minutes off this other match, and now we have 5 minutes, so we can throw 2 more people out there and do a quick match. So, who knows what they'll do. Hopefully they'll stick to the regular schedule, what they have scheduled for the Royal Rumble, but they may not. I anticipate they'll add 1 or 2 more. So anyway, on to, though, the NXT TakeOver San Antonio, which is January 28th at the Freeman Coliseum in San Antonio, Texas. So, let's get started, shall we? The first match they have here is Roderick Strong versus Andrade Cien Almas in a, hey, let's give these 2 guys a match. I don't think Roderick Strong's really feuding with anybody. So I think what they're doing with Andrade Cien Almas is just throwing people at him and saying, here, wrestle this guy. Here, wrestle this guy. Here, wrestle this girl. No, maybe, okay, sure, wrestle her. And then, you know, down the road when he's this really super bad guy, a snidely whiplash with a big red cape billowing behind him, then, you know, maybe he'll be close to ready anyway for the NXT title. Who knows? In a year or so, to keep building him up on a nice consistent level, maybe he'll get to that point. I've heard people say he doesn't have a lot to offer, you know, in charisma and in some aspects wrestling talent. So, but that's not really what WWE's looking for. They're looking for somebody marketable. And I guess with that hat and that physique, he must be marketable. So, that's my prediction. I'm going to see Andrade Cien Almas winning that match. Because Roderick Strong just sort of got there. It's a big deal that he's there, but this is why it's a big deal he's there. He has no problem. He's one of those wrestlers that has no problem saying, oh, you want him to win? Okay. Because he knows, worst case scenario, he's got a job for the next, 6 to 9 months at least. And he can put former WWE superstar, regardless of whether or not it's NXT, but they might even say put NXT on there, former NXT superstar, Roderick Strong, main eventing whatever independent show for the next 5 to 10 years. You know, anyone like that, as long as they don't get seriously injured, you know, or have a wellness policy violation, they've pretty much got it made. I myself would probably aim to stick with NXT. I mean, if I were a wrestler of the proper age to be a wrestler and with the proper athletic physique, propensity, whatever word you want to use, for wrestling, I would probably at least try to stick with NXT, at least as long as I could. But hey, you know, as long as Andrade Cien Almas is out there making a difference. You're listening to Ring Rust Redux on Jabronology TV. This is Fanboy Mark Jabroni. You're listening to Ring Rust. Next match for TakeOver San Antonio is Eric Young versus Ty Dillinger in a... Sorry, which one of us is losing again? That's why we're both hired, right? We're just gonna lose matches. So no, he's not. He can't win. Because he doesn't win. I can't win because I don't win. Maybe we should consult the Magic Smark Ball to find out who's going to win this match. Because they're both talent enhancers, shall we say. So, Magic Smark Ball, who's going to win this match? Are they going to be like taped together and they're spinning? It's like taping a slice of buttered bread to the back of a cat and then dropping the cat, and the joke is it spins and it's like free energy. So if you tape the two of them together, will it be free energy? Because neither one of them can, anyway, I don't know. Or tape them back to back, because that's anyway. So, who's going to win this match? Eric Young or Ty Dillinger? Push Indie Darling. I'm not sure how much of an indie darling Ty Dillinger was. Eric Young, kind of, I guess, more of a TNA darling, I suppose. I'm just going to go out on a limb and say Ty Dillinger is probably going to win this one. Whoever ends up winning is probably going to look really confused when the match is over. It's like, I won? What are you talking about? No, I'm the one who loses. Didn't he win? Wait, why didn't I feel the mat on my back? You're listening to Ring Rust Redux on Jabronology TV. So next up for NXT TakeOver San Antonio from the Freeman Coliseum in San Antonio, Texas. Would make sense if it's TakeOver San Antonio that it's in San Antonio. Why is it in Denver, Colorado? It's called San Antonio. Oh, it's a typo. Sam Antonio. Oh, he's the guy who runs the arena. So, yeah, lame jokes. So, next up, we have the NXT Women's Championship match, which is going to be contested in a fatal four-way match, which will see Asuka, #MySecretGirlfriend, defending her title against Billie Kay and Peyton Royce and Nikki Cross. Not just because she's my secret girlfriend and it's sort of my job to say she's going to win all the time, because yay. But if Nia Jax couldn't beat her, then I don't know how even all three of these ladies can do it. Maybe Nikki Cross, maybe, if, Billie Kay and Peyton Royce, do some shenanigans and stuff and there's distractions and everyone gets knocked out or something. Now, this is the kind of match, I guess, where Asuka doesn't need to be involved in the pinfall to lose the match. I mean, in order to retain her title, she needs to pin one of the 30 women. But either of those 3 women can pin any of the other 3 women. I imagine that's going to happen at least once. Billie Kay will try to pin Peyton Royce, or Peyton Royce will try to pin Billie Kay. And they're both going to do it. And then Nikki Cross and Asuka are going to spend a lot of the match just breaking up that pinfall. It's like, what? No, that's just shenanigans, that is. That's cheating, because they're, villains. Because that's what they do. So, I imagine, though, all things said and done, I'm going to go out on a limb, I think anyway, because it's also the first time each of these 3 women are challenging for the title. So, in my experience, 99 times out of 100, I'll say, because it's not like it never happens. But the first time somebody challenges for a title, usually they don't win it. Usually. Now, mind you, I bet you can cite any number of examples, but, like I said, usually, in the history of wrestling, from day one of professional wrestling up till now, generally speaking, the first time you challenge for a title, you don't win it. Unless whoever's in charge wants you to have that title so badly that they're gonna go against what everyone else sees as the tradition of it, so. And if nothing else, NXT is trying its best to maintain some old school traditions. So, I mean, they're doing wonders with their tag team division, and they're also doing wonders with their women's division, quite frankly. So, that's still going to be my prediction, though. I mean, I can see Nikki Cross maybe winning it if everyone else is knocked out, or if Asuka is battling one of the other. Let's say Asuka's battling Billie Kay on the outside, and Peyton Royce is knocked out, and Nikki Cross goes and pins her. Or we could just as easily reverse those two, where Asuka's beating up, Peyton on the outside, and Billie Kay's knocked out, and Nikki pins her. I mean, that's a way of doing it. And then, Asuka losing her title to either of those three women is a built-in feud. For another couple of months anyway, to get some more mileage out of it. So, still though, I'm going to predict Asuka's going to win it. Because I'm a good boyfriend. Even though she, doesn't know I'm her boyfriend. Not in a bad, creepy way. I'm just sort of...
I'll be real still and it won't see me. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I've had Windows boot up faster than you. Come on, get a move on.
Here we are. This is Fanboy Mark Jabroni. You're listening to Ring Rust. So, next up, for NXT TakeOver San Antonio, we have the NXT Tag Team Championships on the line in a, comparatively speaking, regular match. That was really the only specialty match, I guess, the women's title match with the Fatal 4-Way. It's just a regular tag team match, not like the last time when they had the shark cage thing. So that now Chris Jericho is going to be in at Royal Rumble, with or without his U.S. title, I don't know. Either way, I'm sure he'll be doing his best to steal the show from that shark cage above the ring. So we have DIY, Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa, defending their titles against the Authors of Pain, Akam and Rezar. Hang on, I got Jay Sherman coming and he wants me to pronounce that one wrestler's name correctly. Akam! I predict it may be a bold prediction. Again, the Authors of Pain are only challenging for the first time, so I do, though, still see Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa somehow defending their titles. And yes, that's how it's going to be. That's it. Somehow. But anyway, because, the other team is so much bigger, and, well, they can just chop them down, They can just stand right next to that mountain and chop it down with the edge of their hand. So, I'll give you a minute to think about that. You're listening to Ring Rust Redux on Jabronology TV. ... This is Fanboy Mark Jabroni. You're listening to Ring Rust. So, lastly, for NXT TakeOver San Antonio in the Freeman Coliseum in San Antonio, Texas, we got the main event. Shinsuke Nakamura defending his NXT Championship against Bobby Roode. Once again, Bobby Roode challenging for the first time. Me, personally, in my experience watching wrestling, when you're challenged for the title for the first time, you don't win it. Or else R-Truth would be the WWE Champion. Because he challenged for it the first time. And, well, he didn't win. So, ending things off for, there's actually 4 theme songs, which was rather odd. The last time they had a TakeOver had 4 theme songs, and the WWE pay-per-view right after it had 1. I haven't even looked at Royal Rumble yet to see how many theme songs it's got. I'm going to assume it's got 1. And every TakeOver has more songs than WrestleMania.
This is 93.5 CHMR FM.
Now, time for this week's Not macho fact. Randy Savage once completed Mortal Kombat for Super Nintendo with a PlayStation controller. And the Macho Man can simply walk into Mordor. So, nothing further to preview from NXT TakeOver. Like I said, I like doing it a week early when it's within a day or so of the podcasted version of the episode coming out. So that's just some forward thinking. And again, both Ring of Honor and NXT's TV shows all pre-taped. So no surprises, all that likely. Something might happen on the day of the show. Like this person might have missed their flight or someone might have gotten injured. I don't know. But, and they may throw an extra match in there somewhere. They usually don't with NXT, so they do have some pre-show matches though. And they'll be on the next, 2 weeks of NXT. They'll show those matches on the next couple of weeks of NXT afterwards, So next up, the next big thing, I guess, from this past week in wrestling news, I guess, was the United Kingdom Championship. WWE crowning a new champion. This past weekend, they had a 2-day tournament, 2 hours each, to crown a new United Kingdom champion. I don't know what their plans are for the title. If they're going to keep it over in the United Kingdom, if they're going to defend that title at UK independent events would be interesting, actually, now that I think of it. Like they're approaching some UK professional wrestling leagues to appear on the network, whether it be part of the streaming service or just part of the archive or whatever. That they're going to be there. So that's a solid vote. I think that they might be possibly going that route because I don't really see the point otherwise of them having a United Kingdom championship except to defend it in the United Kingdom. It's like the European title they used to have. First champion, David Boy Smith. Second champion, Shawn Michaels. Was there a European champion after that? I don't know. So, a champion who was themselves European, I mean. Anyway, maybe it's just me. I think it's a decent idea. Hopefully that's what they'll do. Looking at the brackets here just to see who I would consider a standout. Just about everybody. Some of these people will end up on NXT and or 205 Live because I was surprised that some of these guys were cruiserweights. Round about half, somewhere around the halfway point, are 205 and under, which is rather impressive considering how big they are otherwise. I expect to see Trent Seven, certainly Wolfgang, Tyson T-Bone I think will get some notoriety as well. Pete Dunne, one of the guys who went to the final round, certainly will get there as well. And the guy who ended up beating him, Tyler Bate, the new WWE UK champion. Like me on Facebook, tinyurl.com/ringrust. Follow me on Twitter @MarkJabroni. And subscribe to Jarbronology TV, youtube.com/fanboymarkjabroni.
Hey, what's up? This is referee Tony S., and you're listening to Ring Rust on CHMR.
And now, if I can just lure Birdman to my secret spot.
Could you watch my death ray?
Because men talk wills it so. Proceed.
So this is Fanboy Mark Jabroni. You're listening to Ring Rust. 2017 WWE Hall of Famer Kurt Angle. By the way, spoilers if you haven't heard. Kurt Angle's going into the Hall of Fame. Recently spoke with Sports Illustrated about his induction. There's a link there on, you can go to si.com and search it out that way, or go to the CHMR's Ring Rust Facebook page. I made it easy for you. Link's right there. Click on the link if you haven't already, and just, if you're so inclined.
me on Facebook, tinyurl.com/ringrust. Follow me on Twitter @MarkJabroni. And subscribe to Jabronology TV, youtube.com/fanboymarkjabroni.
This is Fanboy Mark Jabroni. You're listening to Ring Rust. So one last bit of news. Darren Young suffered an arm injury during a WWE main event match against Epico before WWE Raw hit the air in Little Rock, Arkansas. Young was wrestling Epico when he took a nasty fall on the apron and the match had to be stopped. Fans in attendance speculated that it could be anything from a separated shoulder to a broken arm or elbow injury. As seen below on the link that's posted there on the CHMR's Ring Rust page, Darren left with WWE Hall of Famer Bob Backlund and was clutching his arm. So hopefully it won't take too long until he's feeling great again.
That's it for another show, kiddies. Check me out on Facebook, where you can keep track of all the news that's right on the mark, from around ringside to the latest concerts. See you at the shows. Later days.
This is 93.5 CHMR FM.